The UnitedHealthcare CEO murder suspect is in court right now for a critical pretrial hearing. His attorneys are trying to get key pieces of evidence thrown out, including a 3D printed gun and alleged journal writings. Let's bring in ABC's Rena Roy outside the courthouse and ABC legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer for more. Rena, what's the latest from court?
Diane, this crucial hearing is officially underway at this hour. We're told Luigi Mangione is seated inside the courtroom at a table next to his defense attorneys. We're told by our teams inside court that he's wearing a gray suit and has nearly 24 of his supporters that are crammed in the back rows of the courtroom, at times craning their necks, hoping to get a glimpse of the accused killer. And look, this is a critical hearing for Luigi Mangione. His defense attorneys are trying to get a laundry list of evidence thrown out, including a red notebook where he allegedly wrote, "I finally feel confident about what I will do. The target is insurance. It checks every box." The defense says his backpack was searched without a warrant, and so they claim that evidence could not be used. And they also argue that body camera footage shows that detectives did not read Mangione his Miranda rights until about 20 minutes into his interrogation. But the prosecution, they are expected to argue that everything was done lawfully and that there is enough evidence to find Luigi Mangione guilty, Diane.
And Brian, the defense says police illegally searched the suspect's backpack. Courts sometimes allow warrantless searches to protect the officers or to preserve evidence. Do you think that might apply in this case?
It's definitely going to be argued by the prosecution, but I think as we see some of the pictures, and we're highlighting as well where the backpack is, how is the prosecution going to make that argument? Oftentimes, a bag can be searched where there are what's called exigent circumstances. But here we can see Luigi Mangione sitting inside the McDonald's with at least 3 or 4 officers around him and that backpack behind them. So the argument the prosecution has to make is that they had to search that bag minutes. I think it was within 15 minutes after arresting Luigi Mangione because of some sort of exigent circumstance. But the victim, unfortunately, was already deceased. There was no ongoing crime at that time. There was nothing that Luigi Mangione could have gotten from that bag where the officers were positioned to dispose of any kind of evidence. So what's their argument going to be? It's going to be a very difficult one.
The defense is also arguing that police questioned him extensively without reading him his rights. What happens if the judge sides with them on that?
So let's start here, because I often get this misconception that if you do not read someone their Miranda warnings, you cannot arrest them. No, it only applies in terms of statements in this part. Now, there is an argument that the actual documents itself should be suppressed, but this is another argument on top of that, the contents of the actual words inside the documents or anything that he said while being arrested should be suppressed. Basically, they're saying that he was detained, he was in custody, he was being asked questions that he should have had his Miranda warnings given to him first, and then ask questions, not ask the questions, get the responses, then give the Miranda warnings, and according to documents, he says he doesn't want to speak. So they're saying anything before those Miranda warnings that he might have said or any statements that he might have written, those are illegally obtained. He was already in custody or the equivalent thereof, and therefore should be suppressed, meaning not brought into trial.
All right, Rena Roy, Brian Buckmeyer, I know you'll keep us posted. Thank you both.